Hey man, what's going on? Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. Today I want to talk to you about the 3 keys of flirting with any woman. I want to discuss the foundations of what flirting is. One of the reasons why I wanted to make this video was because I feel like it comes up a lot in my coaching program. Guys are asking me questions a lot about flirting, a lot about teasing. And I wanted to set the record straight, at least for the people who I know are here watching and searching flirting and getting some good information on it, which is what we're going to do right now. Before we do that, I just want to let you know that if you do want to get better at conversation with women, I do have a free video for you. You can go to tripadvice.com/chick-crack. There is a link in the description. You can click that. This is 100% free. It's a video that teaches you conversation topics that women love and that they respond to. So if you feel stuck in conversation and you want to make sure that conversation flows easy, you can just pull out one of these topics whenever you want. And it's super simple and easy to use and insanely effective. You would not believe how easy it is to use, but how well women respond to it. So check it out at tripadvice.com/chick-crack, link in the description. All right, so the first key to flirting, in no particular order, something that you have to understand. Flirting is about balancing interest and disinterest. So think about the idea of flirting. When someone says the word flirt, a lot of people use flirt in the context of, let's say, flirting with death, right? Someone who's flirting with death is on the brink of accidentally killing themselves, right? Someone who is let's say a skydiver, but doing it with a parachute that they only open, I don't know, at the very last minute. Or someone, let's go even more extreme, someone flirting with death would be a guy who does a free fall without a parachute only to land on a trampoline. That is another good example of someone flirting with death. They're on the brink of it. So why are we getting so dark right now? Well, we're not trying to, but understand that that's what I'm talking about here with flirting. It's this kind of fine line where you're kind of touching upon something. So with flirting with women, it's touching upon this idea of interest. And I like to say that it's a balance between the interest and the disinterest. Almost like flirting with death is like you're almost going to die, but you're also alive. It just kind of dancing a little bit back and forth in between interest and disinterest. And that's what you're doing with flirting. So if you want to talk about, let's say, an example of verbal flirting, which would be teasing, calling her a nerd, for example. When you're in conversation with her, she says something, and you're such a nerd for saying that. You're such a nerd for doing that, or I can't believe you listen to that kind of music. You're such a nerd, or whatever it is, some sort of tease. Which again, this is a tease, not a neg. Neg is literally putting her down, and a tease is something that's more playful and light. And that would be a subtle sign of disinterest. Of course, it's not real disinterest, but that's the whole point. That's an example of how it, no pun intended, not to get too meta, it flirts, right? So it goes in between this gray zone of, wait, he said something that wasn't very nice, but he said it in a playful way, and this subcommunicates to her that you are doing some sort of flirting. Now, this can also be beyond just your words. You can also be showing interest and disinterest in how much attention you're showing her. So I like to say that whenever you are asking for a woman's number, that's a sign of interest. Now, not texting her all the time and not being a guy who's going to be sitting there texting her all day, if you're not doing that, I'm not saying that's a sincere sign of disinterest, but it is, in a sense, you're flirting with this idea of, wait, he liked me, he asked me out, but now he's not texting me a lot. What's going on? And that is one of my pieces of advice, by the way, is you should only be texting a woman to meet up with her and not sitting on your phone all day, just yammering away with her and chatting about nonsense, because actually when you text more, that's more room for error. You might say something that might actually turn her off, so you don't want to be sitting there texting all day. But again, this is not a video about texting, but I should just give you that at least idea so you understand. So that's another example of the balance between interest and disinterest. So it's like you're giving her a little bit, but you're not giving her all of you. And you're doing that with attention. You're doing that verbally. You might even be doing that with your body language. I remember a Mystery, a famous pickup artist. He probably still talks about this, but he used to talk about this idea of your body language being half in, half out. You go over there and you're not facing her completely right away. She's almost this side note, like, oh, you wanted to go talk to her, but you're actually busy with your friends. So you're kind of poking your head in a little bit and giving her the side shoulder instead of being right directly in front of her. So that could be a sign of interest/disinterest in itself. Disinterest, again, it is a little bit of a strong word here, but it's the best word, I believe, for you to understand what I'm talking about. So that's one big foundation of flirting. The next one, I have to say this, and it is a key to flirting: don't overthink it. If you overthink it, you're not going to flirt correctly. So you can't overthink it. Just like anything that you're doing, any kind of even performance that you're putting on, even though this isn't really a performance, but some might say it is equivalent to such a thing. But if you overthink anything you're doing, if you're not just in the moment, the flirting is dead. It's done. You're not going to be doing it correctly. So you can't overthink what you're doing. Don't go into an interaction thinking so systematically or too formulaic, like, oh, I got to tease once or twice, and then I got to throw in this neg, and then I got to make sure my body language is this and that. Don't overthink it. The more that you sit here and try to craft this perfect approach or perfect conversation on a date where you're doing too much thinking, you're going to ruin it, and it's going to actually show too much interest. So back to this idea, overthinking it will show. It will be the thing that she sees. She's going to see you in your head. She's going to see you doing all these little moves. And then now she's going to know, oh, he's nervous. He's super interested in me. You're not balancing interest and disinterest anymore. So again, this is more of a high-level video. I want you to really take this all in and just think about this in terms of these core concepts. Okay, let's go to the last one, number 3. So it's more your vibe than what you say. I know this is can be a little bit hard for people to understand, so I'm going to do my very best to describe it. So what's your vibe? Your vibe, it's your whole attitude. It's the way that you're just coming off in general. And this is a good way to play off of my last tip with don't overthink it, is we can just make this really simple and say it's just about your attitude. And it's not so much saying the perfect words. It's not always about necessarily saying the perfect line, the perfect flirty line. And listen, they work, and I have a lot of videos where I talk about it, so I'm not completely contradicting myself here, but I just want to make it as simple as possible for you. If you go into an interaction, you can just think about this idea of, hey, I kind of like this girl. I'm kind of interested in her. I'm talking to her. I'm trying to get to know her a little bit, but I'm not going to overdo it. And this is just all about your vibe, your energy, your attitude, and not as much as saying the perfect line. I understand that this last tip is not as specific. It's not as tangible. It's not necessarily a tip that you can necessarily go off and walk with and say, oh, no, great, I'm just going to go in there and just give a good vibe. And it's not what you say. It's a little bit more of an advanced one. So if you are someone who's still learning this stuff, you might want to check out some other videos on flirting where you do have a couple of little examples. But the more that you do it, again, this is more advanced. So for the people who are going out, who you're doing it more, you're flirting more, you understand what I'm saying. It's almost indescribable. It's more indescribable. It's more of a feeling that you're giving off in the interaction. It's almost as if you're feeling this sexual attraction to this woman, and instead of saying anything, it's something that's coming off maybe in your tone, maybe a little bit in your body language, the way that you're looking at her, the way that you're kind of smiling, some of the things that you're bringing up. So it's more about your energy as a whole, and then you can start to not focus on what you say. So at this point, going out and talking to women, if you are someone who's been doing it for a long time, you're probably not using those same little lines that you've been using in the very beginning. you're probably getting the idea of what it means to show a little bit of interest and disinterest and a little bit of like, but not giving her too much in the conversation. And this is your overall vibe versus the words coming out of your mouth. I like to say also, when it comes to flirting, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So the vibe and the way that you're talking to her, when you're talking to her, you might be saying things in this way where it's coming off flirty because of your tonality. So you're not coming off and sounding robotic like this and really shy and really nervous, but you're more calm, cool, collected. You're talking slow, relaxed. Maybe your voice gets a little bit deeper. You're also using that downward tonality to show more of a commanding tone and not this seeking rapport tonality. So again, it's more about you, your essence, energy, attitude. If you need more help and you actually want to know what to say, because I know that some people are still trying to figure it out, then you can still get some help there and get some training wheels before you get to this point, right, where you are understanding that's more of a vibe. And you can get Chick Crack, the topics of conversation that women love. And it does help, and it is a first stepping stone to then getting in there. And also, I should mention, Chick Crack isn't necessarily about flirting. It's more just having topics of conversation that you know she responds to make it so you're talking to her more. And the more time you spend with the woman, the more she becomes invested in you. And the more she's invested in you, the more she wants to get a return on that investment. And it's easier for her to want to say yes, to see you again, to sleep with you, and so on and so forth. Hope that helps. Like it if it did. Leave a comment down below. I want to hear from you.